Welcome back to Emergency Dating Consulting, a place for immediate change and or development in the world of dating. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and remember to send in your questions so I can answer them on the show. Let's go. I have a man and a woman who find themselves in an interesting situation. Here's the guy. He states, I think I might be a sugar daddy and I'm feeling conflicted about it. So just for some backstory, I'm a pretty young guy, 29, and recently I've started making more money after switching careers this year. Probably more than I deserve. Before this year, I was pretty poor and could never afford the finer things in life. I wonder why you said more than you deserve. I'm just getting back into dating after being single for almost 8 months. I've been talking with this girl who's 26 and she's going to school and is not doing well financially. She never outright said it, but I can tell she's really struggling. Like last week we went to the fair and I paid for the tickets and I told her not to worry about it. And she was extremely thankful. Just for that tiny thing. Interesting. I felt really good doing that for her. Since we met like a month ago, besides our first date, we've always split things 50-50. And before anyone says anything, that was her idea, not mine. Anyways, a few days ago we were talking on the phone and she was telling me about how she barely had any food left and was eating ramen all week. She didn't say it in a woe is me type of way either. Not sure what he meant. She sort of said it casually and moved on. So I told her I can take her grocery shopping. I let her pick out anything she wanted. She was so emotional and extremely grateful. Anyways, as this was happening, I realized I was getting turned on from helping her. And the thought of giving her money and helping her out again was turning me on. I've never had this happen before. The day after that, she asked me if I could give her a couple bucks for gas so she can go to class and she would pay me back. I did that for her and I told her not to worry about paying me back. She was very grateful and basically almost cried. Then today she texted me and asked me to help her out with her phone bill and that it was going to get cut off the next day if she didn't pay it. I don't know if she was telling the truth, but I obviously helped her. I don't want to become her sugar daddy and just have her be with me because I buy her things, but I also get really turned on doing stuff like that for her. I need to find that balance. I need to know if this is sustainable long term if we become more serious. And he mentions they have had sex. See, this one is a very blurry and fishy type of situation. Instantly, I know this is not a sustainable situation for this young man. See, I almost got confused at the beginning because their first date, they split it 50-50, and this was her idea. And even later on, as he continues to pay like for a phone bill, and she comes to tears being so thankful. I mean, this woman has to be a diabolical actor, or she truly comes from a humble background and is trying to make it in this world at 26 years old and still going to school. However, this woman already exposes her cards early on. The premise of this video is to trust your instincts. See, when they first got to the fair and he paid for the tickets, he noticed how unusually extremely grateful she was. Now, I'm a very polite person, so I would be very grateful myself as well. However, this pattern continues and he's starting to pick up on it. Women are natural born detectives and they're mental warriors. So before they outright do anything, they will become prepared for it. And in this case, before my man gets played, she lets him know that she'll pay 50-50, right? She's just a struggling student trying to make it. However, a month into their relationship, she's mentioned on the phone that she has no food all week and she's just been eating ramen and she's struggling to eat. We all know this could be a venting position here. However, none of us are going to tell our date how much we're truly struggling, knowing the person who cares about us and who we're talking to is most likely going to want to help. So she knew that. And she also knew a few weeks prior to Mike needing food, might need her phone bill, to let him know if she had money. Oh, if I had money, I'll 50-50, I'll pay for it myself. When is she gonna have money? And imagine you having a crush on somebody, especially somebody who you're highly attracted to, and they call you talking about they're eating ramen all week. I personally love ramen, but I get it. You're going to immediately want to help that person, especially if you know you can afford it. See, and these new changes he made with his job, she knows this. This was the first date conversation as he's explaining his life, and she knew she got one. Throughout his posts, he mentions how emotional she gets when he does these polite gestures. See, 24 hours prior to class, you didn't know you didn't have enough gas to get to class. You're already scheduled in routine. Fishy. As he said, I did that for her and I told her not to worry about paying me back. She was very grateful and basically almost cried. Again. Right? Imagine that. Then she texted me and asked me to help her with her phone bill and that it was going to get cut off the next day if she didn't pay it. You see how every time she talks to him, she's in a dire situation. 24 hours, something is about to happen. Women like this, they're predators. They're emotional predators. They can spot a man that is willing to fall for crocodile tears, that is willing to fall for a pretty face, a big ass, and big tits, and get anything she wants out of it. And my man Blue Jay, she found you and she got you. So to clarify, Blue Jay, you're not a sugar daddy. A sugar daddy has arrangements with their sugar babies. They both know what it is. They both know what they want out of each other, and it stops there. No emotions get involved. No emotions should get involved. And sure as hell, no responsible figure getting in the way and trying to add more complications to the arrangement. The question is, what do you want to do? If being a sugar daddy interests you, there's nothing wrong with that. Men do it every day. So Blue Jay, it's not that you need to find that balance, as you stated. You need to make a choice. You need to accept in your head what she's doing and what you're doing. And you also, as you said, it's turning you on that you're helping her. See, this could be a power situation that you're being attracted to. And at the same time, this woman is also tugging the right wiring in your brain, letting you know that I'm so thankful that you could help me. It's extremely fulfilling. And then you get laid right afterwards. You damn right that's turning you on. You're building a psychological anchor that once you give her money, you get a pic, you get some play, you're good to go. Just don't lie to yourself. Be honest. Pick what you want. She has no problem if you even break it down to her on, look, I don't want any confusion here. This is what I want. I don't want to get caught up in a financial / emotional tie with you. I like what we have going on so far. I can take care of you and you can take care of me. She will 100%, she'll try to make sure, because she found her prey. She thinks guys like you wouldn't want to do that, and you would look at her differently, or you might judge her. This is why she's giving you the emotional breadcrumbs, so the backstory can cover her real story. But this is up to you on how you would like to go about this. Don't lie to yourself and get what you want. I have a 21-year-old female who's looking for advice about her boyfriend, and she titles it with "Boyfriend Wants to Experience Strip Club." Excuse me. This is what she says. I, 20 female, have been with my boyfriend, who's also 20 years old, for a little over 2 years. I'm extremely jealous girlfriend. I'm an extremely jealous girlfriend due to past traumas, and have been trying to work on how I react to things, but also my trust issues. It's always been a boundary of mine that I just don't want my boyfriend to go to a strip club, watching porn, stuff of that nature. He's been okay with it, but recently we got back on the topic of strip clubs, and although he told me he'll never go to one, but that he'll only want to go for the experience. It hurt to hear, and I'm confused how to feel. He always told me that he doesn't find anyone else attractive. I mean, he said he can point out a good-looking person, but there's a difference between finding people attractive and seeing someone who is good-looking. I'm gonna slip in right there. Look how slick this man was. Your boyfriend's got a little silver tongue. She said, he's always told me that he doesn't find anyone else attractive. I mean, he said he can point out a good-looking person, but there's a difference between finding people attractive and seeing someone who is good-looking. You can't argue with that. I mean, that was a good breakdown, but that was a good breakdown to tell somebody who is hurt, as this woman right here, and who can't bear to hear the truth. As she said, she had past trauma and things happened to her. However, you can already tell, once again, this is an attractive woman who grew up as an attractive young lady, and how people approached her. She got to bring up her emotions, in the world, or whatever she need, and the world would just adjust to her, and people just conform to her. And she did that with her boyfriend. And you already know they took a long road to get to where they wanted to be, just because of how cautious and scared she is of really relationships. So on this woman's behalf, the truth hurts. Finishing her post. Anyways, I just don't understand why being naked isn't good enough for his taste. Why does he want to go and experience a strip club? Shouldn't I be good enough for him like he says I am? Looking for advice. I don't want to be selfish, but I'm just confused. Boyfriend says he would want to go to a strip club just for the experience. Right. So, immediately, I've heard this. Many of us has heard it from other women. Why am I not good enough for you? I'm going to give a story about an older woman I know who broke down her experience of taking testosterone. So she's getting older, her hormones and everything's going out of whack. So as she went to the doctor, along with other things, the doctor started giving her small doses of testosterone. And at some point, if you know her, she's very classy, smart, and pretty straight-laced. And as time goes on and she's taken multiple shots of this testosterone, she is finding herself publicly staring at women's crotches and asking herself, I wonder what their pussy looks like. She's never been attracted to women, and she's high femininity. As time went on, this didn't stop. It only progressed. She wind up eventually from never watching porn to watching porn, from never using toys to acquiring a toy, until one day she threw it all away, went to the doctor, and shut it all down. When she told me about this, she wanted me, and she specifically told me to tell the world because they needed to know what men go through with their testosterone and their hormones. And she asked me, is this what you go through, Marcus? Is this what y'all experience every single day? And the answer is yes, times 10. Right? This is just blowing her mind through what she experienced from being a raging bull. Like we feel all the time. It's statistically proven that men think about sex every 7 seconds. This is why it's important to learn the truth. And on this young lady's behalf, CBE, I don't know her name, but on this woman's behalf, that's why it's important to know the truth. Know who you're dating. You need to know who your boyfriend is. He's telling you everything you need to hear, everything to keep you in your protective bubble, all with lies. It's not the real world. And when real things happen to you in life, like a 20-year-old young man wanting to experience a strip club, it hurts. So my advice to you is to start seeking the truth like you're doing here, but be open to it. Know the people you're around, know your friends, know your family. Your boyfriend is 20 years old and is a young bull. He watches porn all the time, and as he should. At his age, it's extremely healthy. And to want to experience a strip club, it's also very healthy. And you need to know now, hell yes, he finds other women attractive and he looks at them all the time, but where does he spend his time? With you? Where does he spend his energy? With you? What more could you ask for? And men, you need to know out there, this is just as dangerous to put more fuel to this emotional fire that this woman has. I wind up dating a woman like this at some point in my life after years of guys done this with her. And I had to be the one to strip her from that, to point her in the right direction and give her proper leadership. See, if this wasn't me that she bumped into though, this cycle would continue. And the men that she dates furthers their delusion on who women actually are. Like this man thinking this girl is too emotional, just literally can't handle the truth, can't handle the thought of this, can't handle the thought of that. No one made her handle these things. And that's why it's very important for you to take the lead and to let her know, explain to her exactly who you are and how you feel and what is natural. Bring up facts to her on what a guy is and let her know you're down for her. And if she can't accept that, you have to let her go. That sounds wild, but a woman like this will not stop at just don't look at women, just don't do this. She will completely mold you until you're a 40-year-old sloppy, soft man that now she's sick and tired of. Why didn't you keep up with the Joneses? Why didn't you keep up with your body? Why didn't you do this? When the whole time she wants you to adjust to her. So this can hurt both sides, and it's very important to keep a healthy balance between both of you and to know who you are dating. Understand this gap that is between the sexes, and it should be filled. You need to have a talk with your boyfriend. See, right now, he won't bring any of this up to you. You have showed him for 2 years. He has to keep most of his thoughts in and his realistic perspective to himself, and he can't share that with you. For this cycle to be broken, you must break this cycle. You must explain to him that I know you like this, you do this, you would prefer this, you want to experience that, but I also know you're there for me. And we're missing that, the most important mark here. That's really all that matters. When you have somebody who cares for you, devoted to you, and loves you, you won. Get educated.